When we start building ventures and organizations, we think of cash as one of the most important things for us to be able to achieve our goals. Oftentimes we think of cash as the solution. In short, material capital, or we call it in kind at Little Big Fund, is that other alternative where cash does not become the most important thing for you to achieve your goals. Basically, it's finding a way to replace all of those things that you would need cash to pay for, and finding people to actually pay for it for your organization.
How do you find a fair market value? If someone gives you something and you need to then report it, and you need to say, well, I got this thing, but it also has a value. So it's important that you know when you receive something like a service that you find out what it was worth, so you can report that fair market value and consider it an asset. Because it might not be cash, but it is still an asset that can go in your budget, that can go in a grant proposal. It can be very much outside of what your expectations might be. And we really push people to think outside of the box when it comes to a non-cash item. Gifts come in all sizes, shapes, denominations, textures. We suggest that changemakers get to know everybody in their community, who's doing what and why, right? And what do they have that they are not using as well? So it's about connections, understanding all those other businesses and what assets they have that they could share.
Mapping the community is always the first step. So often, especially I think in many communities around the world, we look for funding opportunities. It's a lot of big aid. We hear of these big organizations that provide large grants, and we think of them as the first option for any kind of support and funding. But oftentimes your community organizations that are down the street from you are more capable and more likely to actually offer support for you, because they know you. Investing in relationships with everyone in your community, right? If you have a restaurant down the road, start building a relationship, not because you have an agenda, not because you hope that they'll sponsor meals, but with the goal that they might be part of your campaign, part of your movement. We want to build a party. You want to build a fun party that everyone wants to be a part of, right? Your venture needs to be a fun party that when people don't want to miss out on. And for that, you have to invest in those relationships so that when you actually launch the party and you're like, hey, who wants to join in? Who wants to give me tables? Who wants to give me meals? People say, you know what, I'll like to contribute. So really investing in the relationships. Think global, but really when it comes to finding support, act local.